was kind of stunned by Justin Fox's article in Bloomberg View, looking back at what happened after she left, because I think history shades everything.
Yes.
And I tend to attribute everything that happened to her tenure. And his point, I think, was well made, which is that she ushered in a change in strategy, a shift towards more corporate customers.
Right.
Trying
to look more like IBM.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That has not proved to be such a bad idea, and it's a shift that Meg Whitman is trying to pull off again right now.
Right. In that chart, it shows that, look, the stock was getting hit even before she arrived. Mm-hmm. It got worse when she was there, but it performed better, as you were saying in the context. And the HP shares, if you can see there's the orange line, did do better after she was forced out. But part of that was that Mark Hurd was executing on that strategy, as you mentioned, that she laid out.
Part of that, and I also didn't remember the exact history. When we went back to it, the stock...
Look at Sun.
Yeah, exactly. But the stock moves up before she leaves, right? So there was a recognition of her change in strategy, and it's not like there was an amazing pop-up, oh, finally we got rid of her. And also, I mean, the other thing about HP...
There's a little bit of that, right? A little bit of that.
Well, she was, she had a famously contentious relationship with the board.
Fired her.
Right? So there are two ways to look at this, right? Either she was an ungovernable CEO, or the board at HP is an un-CEO-able board. And there's plenty of evidence that that might be true as well.
Well, you know what I think has been kind of fascinating is watching her rise and seeing that the way she's acted on the campaign may be indicative of the way she was at HP, which is she's clearly outspoken, clearly talks against, no fear at all going against the grain. I mean, you saw she butted her way into the CNN debate, and look at what happened after that. So you can kind of see her leadership skills there, at least the way she manages, right? I mean, she's very... Right?
That's a really good point. If you're unafraid to tell people when they're wrong, how does that work out for you when you're in the boardroom talking about strategy? But I also think, looking at Mitt Romney's experience, I think Justin Fox made a very compelling argument about this in Bloomberg View. This may be a hard sell to voters, right? It's very hard to say, I laid out a strategy, it only got better after I left.
It's too nuanced. It's too nuanced for voters. They just, it's easy to look at the stock chart. During her tenure, it went down. Bam, she was a bad manager.
But it's not too nuanced for Betty Lou and Brennan Greeley. We're on it.
For us Bloomberg geeks. Okay. I did talk with Carly, though, back in May when she was first starting her campaign, and I asked her about her tenure and how that was going to be her big vulnerability, right? So she said back to me, she said, look, I come from a world of business where results count. Speeches and titles are not accomplishments. So she's talking that, look, she's out of the Beltway. She's not a politician. She's not like Hillary Clinton, who she accuses has collected just speeches and titles along the way. So she's going to try to spin it that way throughout the rest of her campaign.
Right, and it'll be interesting to see her go up against Donald Trump. The Republican Party has always said to itself, if only a business person could run America like a business. It hasn't been very successful. It doesn't really work in terms of candidates, and yet they keep trying it again and again, and she may be the right person to actually make it work.